Greetings, I am Liz and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together.
Yeah.
Woohoo. Alright, so, yeah.
Here we are.
I thought just like we have real rain while we're filming this, like doing this thing.
Uh-huh.
That has some rain in it. It's kind of fun.
It's peak time.
If there happens to be thunder, you'll just have to take it as atmosphere. I wake up to my own shouting. A hoarseness burns in my throat. A dream? I bolt upright, sparks swimming in my eyes. Hairs on the back of my neck tingling. Someone's watching me. Candle flames jitter on the table beside me. Shadows dance. Could I be imagining it? No. I don't know how I know, but I do. Should I look? What kind of a question is that? On the count of 3, then. 1, 2. Oh, no, now. I carefully turn my head and look into the gloom.
Count of 3? Now.
Count of 3. Nope. Not doing that. Change my mind quickly.
It's immediately a process. It needs to happen.
The committee in my own head has voted differently.
Immediately, too.
Has it always been this dark in a library? Is this a library now?
Ooh.
Have we decided that that's what this room is? That it's a library?
I suppose.
Streams of debris undulate lazily through the air, occasionally shuddering in sync with depressions, droning. Oh dear. A pocket of deeper darkness in front of me draws my attention. A pair of golden jewels glint at me while being oddly stationary against the ever-moving debris. It's the cat thing again, right?
Maybe. Who knows?
I squint. They're not glinting, but blinking. And then they start to grow apart. Bigger and bigger. Okay, something else. I deepen my breaths to stay calm. It'd benefit me none to panic already. I don't even know what that thing is.
Ah.
But if the golden orbs are getting bigger and
Spreading apart.
that is
maybe
not
it
what
has
we see.
It has a shape-shifting form is what it is. So it was started small and then it started getting bigger. So it shifted its shape. That was all. That was what I get out of that.
What if both the cats are the same cat?
I mean, okay, so we're saying this was a cat because honestly the silhouette looks really cat-like.
I just keep saying
instantly
cat.
went
My
black
headcanon
cat.
is cat.
Especially like with the slit eyes, like it just looks like a cat to me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
But it was just like, if it starts as like little cat with golden eyes, it turns into bigger cat with golden eyes.
Is this Fuzz Pants?
Maybe.
Oh dear.
I don't know. A jagged hunch.
But if it's also the Lucassie, that sounds weird. Anyway.
Maybe Fuzz Pants is a Lucassie, but maybe you're supposed to keep them bound in a smaller form to be familiar?
Oh, like Mogget.
Mogget?
Yeah, in the Sabriel series.
Oh yeah, and you have to keep them basically bound in this other form to
Even
make
though
it
I
useful.
think that's Lyrael, because she's the one who has the cat, not Sabriel.
I think it's Lyriel, yeah.
Yeah, it's Lyrael.
Right. Anyway, I was gonna say, but there's other fantasy examples of going, this creature is only useful when it's bound in this form. And when it goes into the other form, it and you both have a bad time.
Yes, but more everybody else does than it. It
Where
has
it's
a
just
great
like,
time.
I am
a force of chaos and destruction and murderous intent, usually.
And then you put it in a little box and it goes, hello, hi.
I'm just tired.
Kind of what I am is tired and I want you to pet me.
Yeah, that. Except Mogget was kind of a shit.
I know.
God, honestly, like, if I have any recommendations, like, here, like, there are things that I will say that I haven't read the series in a long time.
Okay.
So I don't know if it entirely holds up in all areas. I have my own personal beef with Garth Nix with some of the stuff that's very hetero-temperist, basically, very hetero-focused in some ways. But it is also a really interesting story, and I like the world a lot. And also, like, Sabriel as a child was one of the really cool, like, female protags that I knew of, and also so was Lyriel.
Yep.
She's actually really interesting.
Yes, the whole, I guess, Abhorsen series,
The
like
Abhorsen,
trilogy.
Yeah. I always said it was Aborzen, but I'm not sure.
Really?
Yeah. It might be Abhorsen, but I think we always had it as Aborzen.
Well, I've never heard it said.
I never have either.
In my head, it was Abhorsen.
It's okay.
Alright.
I came up with several ones.
A jagged, hunched silhouette detaches from the murk, its movement sluggish and unsteady. I remember it slithering out from a darkened doorway and clawing at me. Oh, our memories have reset again, haven't they? Sliding my feet down to the floor, I began backing away, keeping my eyes on the Lucassi. It doesn't react and simply continues creeping in my direction. Its large, pointy ears turn to me, revealing slightly pinkish interiors. One of its hands, or paws, is cupped over its ears, and one hand over both ears.
That's a big hand.
Hang on though, but like...
It has giant anime paws.
Hold on.
Like...
So cupped over its ears.
Like this?
And its face wrinkled up.
So it goes whoop. So
But
it's
it's
so
not.
big.
But it's not it's not squishing the ears because they just turn and you can see the inside of them.
Oh.
So like cupped, like listening, like I'm trying to like
Oh.
behind my ears, or
That sounds like an interesting gesture. Yeah, I don't
like,
actually
what?
get that.
What does that mean? That's interesting.
Huh.
Because yeah, if you can see the ears rotate and the inside of them, it's not covering its ears, like pinning them down.
Right.
And cupping around your ear is usually a round gesture like this. But if you're doing both at once, yeah, maybe it's like the arm up behind the head. I don't know.
Maybe? I don't know.
All right. Cupped over its ears and its face is wrinkled up. Come closer, and I'll give you something else to be angry about. As I'm considering my options, my heel kicks something. Reaching back, my hands find a massive bookshelf on one side and unyielding stone on the other. A corner. I grope for something to defend myself with, but get hold of nothing but books. Soft covers at that. Terrific. I guess it'll be an exchange of words then. Oh my goodness! You are really fascinating looking.
What adorable. Also, I'm like, the shadow is very... That's okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, this looks very different than the
You
shadow.
have huge ears. You have enormous hair ears. Like, so they're literally like, boink, whoop.
Yeah.
Like, they're really hard to see. Like, or at least, like...
So,
hang on.
For me...
Yeah, I'm like... It's,
those are like, your, shoot, what's his name?
What?
The Egyptian god.
Oh, like Anubis?
Yeah. You have like Anubis ears.
Yeah.
You have like serious, like exaggerated Anubis ears, and that's kind of
really
cute.
cute. But honestly, also the styling does remind me a little bit of Bost.
Yeah, you definitely, we've real god vibes here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, got it. All right. As the Lucasi moves into the candle's glow, I can at last make out more details of it than just a black outline. It's much smaller than I remembered, and not nearly as grotesque. Its black fur is rather lush and endowed with a silken sheen. The creature lets out an exaggerated yawn and shudders, revealing a set of vicious teeth, and stretches its arms overhead until its entire body is cartoonishly arched. A pair of large earrings glint dully. It wears jewelry? I'm scoping an escape route when depression lets off a rumble and the creature throws its hand over its ears and makes an annoyed meow. I blink. A funny sensation crawls over my scalp.
Craws?
Craws?
I think it's supposed to be crawls, because I don't think craw is the intended word here.
Because
craw is an actual word.
It
which
is.
The only reason why I can think of why that would be an interesting error. Like, a lot of the stuff where I'm like, oh, that's a word you made up. Like,
Right.
makes sense, but like, craws,
Craw is an actual
I think
word.
it's crawls.
Probably. I squint at the creature. Thick, black fur around the legs, pointy ears, golden eyes. Everything fits. Could it be? I think it is.
Yeah.
Seeing the look on my face. Fuzz. No, I won't use that name until I can be sure.
Fair.
Much thicker, heavier. Like, can you imagine the big fluffy fur pants though?
Uh-huh.
Just like the harem pants made of fluff.
Uh-huh.
That sounds adorable. The creature tilts its head toward the arched doorway, a huge tail swishing. An electrical sensation shoots through me at the possibility of it. Go with it? Laura Santi, should I? My feet almost step forward on their own, but Ilara's warning resounds in my head, and I pull back. Who are you? I ask. The creature stops and gestures at me to follow again, tail swishing impatiently. Oh, so it was gesturing with its tail to follow.
Uh-huh.
All right, then turns away once more. Pressure squeezes my heart. It's leaving a piece of my past?
It's leaving. A piece of my past, comma.
Or an irresistible lure. What should I do?
Follow.
Fuzz, the creature, demand an answer.
Why is that in quotes? Are you gonna say that out loud? Follow Fuzz, the creature. I yell at myself.
I think it's what you're saying to yourself, and the other one's an action.
Okay.
So I think that would probably be like an internal dialogue of follow Fuzz, the creature, or demand an answer. You know what? I feel like this. So, me, I might go for an answer. I say, but I feel like this character really has been super skeptical of Ilar. I think that they would just potentially go, I'm curious. Also, I just woke up. I'm disoriented. And this thing is not behaving at all like I expected. And I'm also going, wait, you might be Fuzz Pants. I think we would follow.
I was about to say, in regards to how the story seemed to be going, despite the fact that honestly, like, part of me is just like, I would just believe Alar. But the character is really like, as far as I can tell, what the story wants you to do is to disbelieve Alar. Not trust them, whatever, despite the fact
because
that
it keeps telling you Ven over and over does not trust Alar.
Which I'm like, why?
I don't know.
Again, I'm like, I don't understand that it just doesn't work for me, but like following Fuzz is fine.
Sounds very natural for Ven.
Yeah.
For what I've seen of their behavior and also I'm just super curious about this and wait, what's going on? And this seems different than I expected. The creature's silhouette is melding into the dark again. And it really does feel like Ven's got this experience of going, I'm just super fascinated. Like I'm not really thinking that much. I'm just going, it's beckoning to me. It's like a person, a confusion.
Right.
All right. A tiny voice in my head says, go, you fool. Fly, you fools. Yeah. Don't
Fly,
tell me what to do. I mutter and hurry after Fuzzpants. Z gets to my desk and hops onto it, planting her paws squarely on the open journal. Then turns her back to me, reaches her paws back and growls.
Hold.
What? I look at the sheer height of the shelf. You cannot be serious. And careful with that book. I push her on the shoulder, but Z won't budge.
Okay, I have a problem because you went from going, I will be cautious and stay away from the critter, and now Vin is just going, and this means that if I'm going to follow you, I'm just going to touch you.
That's what I was going to say.
Why are you suddenly... This seems
I'm
like a
immediately
really immediate heavy shift into doing something else.
That's what I was going to say. That sounds incredibly wild to immediately go, I will touch you, not I'm following you cautiously. Again, it seemed like Vin was in some kind of, like, I am just super curious and I've forgotten everything. Caution to the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even remember I'm supposed to be cautious. But yeah, moving to the...
Won't budget.
Oops.
Won't budget.
But Z won't budget. You just keep spending and you won't budget.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even see that.
I just noticed it. Sorry.
That's good. Okay. I'm just like, yeah, moving immediately to touch them feels real weird to me. Z sighs and waves paws impatiently. Hold on. I gives her a flat stare. Z pretends not to notice. I sigh. Sink it. It's not like riding a humanoid cat is the weirdest thing I've done today.
Oh, is that what's going on? Hang on, maybe it was actually Fuzzpants or whatever this is supposed to be going, ride me.
Uh-huh.
I'm going, hold on.
Uh-huh, maybe. Oh god, I couldn't tell who was talking.
I don't know who's talking.
Oops.
Could
Could be, but also I did not get the impression that they were gesturing for us to
get
ride
on them? Yeah.
I thought it was more like the gentle thing of like pushing on their shoulder or whatever. I thought they were trying to reach something or do something.
Yeah, like hand on book, other arm like this. What does that mean? Why would you put your hand on the book?
Yeah, it looked like it almost sounded like they were asking for a boost or something. That
Yeah.
was what I got. Like a help me up kind
That
of
was a
thing.
weird description. I don't know. That didn't work.
Or I couldn't access it at any rate, but I was just like, humanoid cat. All right. I lean onto Zerbak and lock my arms tightly together. Do you also climb onto Zerbak?
Hold.
Z snarls and crouches. Yes, I know I'm hold a yeep. I see a yeep.
A yeep.
It says yeep, that's so
Yay.
good. I love that. As Z takes off, a dizzying rush later, we're on top of the shelf. A flash of cold sweat coats my back. Lyra on a cow. That's amazing. I love that.
With a random period.
It's, yeah, I think grammatically this shouldn't have had a period and that should be the period based on this sentence contains that quote.
Well, the thing is, a flash of cold sweat coats my back. Period. Lyra on a cow. You don't need the period after the quotation mark.
Not unless it's a part of the other sentence.
Yeah.
And so it might have been something they had just previously decided or hadn't split and then they did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, I need a moment. We hurtle through the air again. I hold on for my dear life as Z leaps from one beam to the next, their claws biting into the wood. I don't dare look, but just feel the shock as we land, the terrifying sway as we dangle. I feel like you'd be way too far away from wherever Ilar is right now for your heart vessel to stay together, but something may have changed. Something seemed to have changed.
Something seems like it's changed, but I don't know what.
Because this is definitely the furthest away we've been. If the ceiling's one, that terribly high, and two, we're just zipping across beams.
Yeah.
Then a blast of cold air hits me as we begin to plunge through darkness. A brief eternity later, oof, breath is knocked out of me. I'm slammed from every direction as the world spins and spins and spins.
I feel like the breath is knocked out of me is redundant.
I mean,
because the implication of oof, like that was what it is. Like you could just be like, oof, I'm slammed from every direction as the world spins and spins. Breath is knocked out of me is kind of unnecessary.
I would say it is a little redundant. On the other hand, it could be, I want it to be really specific. It's important that your breath was knocked out, and then you put it in there, because oof can be several things.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's going to actually be important. I don't know how long I lie still, but the spinning finally stops. I grunt, spit out a mouthful of grass. Oh, we landed on our face.
Oh.
And open my eyes.
That is not what I got.
Is this the garden?
To be continued?
Hang on, is that the end of the first part?
That is the end of the first part.
It might be. Let's try. What happens?
End of Act 1!
Oh, it is.
Uh-huh.
We did it, guys. We got through Act 1.
Hey! That ended much faster than I thought it was. But yes, you can actually wishlist Act 2 on Steam. It doesn't look like it's going to be on itch, but I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I am kind of curious. That was really interesting.
I mean,
I still say that I do not understand Vin's problem at all. I am completely lost in regards to what their process is, and I don't feel it.
It's okay. I'm like, sometimes characters aren't relatable depending on, like, to each individual different person.
And that's fine. They don't need to be. I've just sometimes, like I mentioned before, one of my biggest problems with a lot of protagonists is they usually don't really explain themselves. They just expect going, oh, you should just feel what I feel. And I'm like, yeah, but why?
Connect me to why you're feeling that way.
Yeah, like, I don't get it. As far as I can tell, you're making rash, hasty decisions, or you're doing really strange behaviors that don't make sense to me anyway, so...
Well, and, like, the whole soft sort of invitingness of this game, the sort of, really atmospheric but also, like, engrossing, like, prose and introduction into the world, and the soft feel of things with the music.
It doesn't feel hostile. It doesn't feel like something that Vin is going, you should be afraid of, and because I'm afraid of it, or I'm uncomfortable and I don't believe what's going on. It feels very much like, I want to get lost here. What are you talking about? Why should I find this to be violent or strange or frightening or whatever?
Off-putting. And the thing is like, the game itself is put together in such a beautifully artistic way. Again, atmospherically, all the, like, directorially, the shots and the art and the music and everything, as to be incredibly inviting and comfortable, and, like, in some ways, like, soothing, but also, again, really pulling you in. And having your MC be like, I am rejecting this, and I am frustrated with this, and I am impatient, feels very... very strange to me.
It feels at odds.
Like, I had a very hard time picking it up. And
like,
maybe that's part of the point. Maybe Vin is supposed to seem very, very displaced in this environment, and you keep going, why are you displaced? Everything seems good.
But like I said, if we're going to be in their head, that doesn't make sense. I get frustrated as a reader where I don't access. So I have a really big thing where people go, first person perspective. Well, you're in their head, so you hear their thoughts, you watch their feelings go by. If nothing's happening, then suddenly they start reacting?
Well, and what I was going to say is, the only thing that doesn't make it work that way, as far as going, hey, you're supposed to be at odds with your environment, is if you are stressed out and anxious and uncomfortable in an environment, it doesn't have all of those elements of feeling comfortable and looking beautiful and things
It doesn't.
Like someone who's at ease there will see it completely differently, or like yourself on different days.
Exactly, yeah.
And so, like, having all of those directorial things, yeah, it is a real strong dissonance than the characters, like, the attitude that Vin seemed to continue having over and over again.
Yeah. So I mean,
I seriously want to play the second half of this.
I really do too. Like, I am super dead curious. It doesn't mean that I dislike the world. My biggest problem is going, I just don't access Vin. And I don't understand it, and we have mentioned that before, and I will mention it again, going like, it really is, there is that strange separation between, you want this world to be glorious and amazing, everything is really slow and flowing and methodical, and then Vin is just like, wham, and you're like, what are you reacting to?
It also took me a while.
It's very jarring.
to sort of get a hold of it, because I went with my first reaction for the game based on what I've been socialized of, hey, this place feels amazing and nice and soothing and cool and welcoming and curious.
That's the other thing too. I'm like, if you're trying to go for like, it's supposed to be like a horror, or it's supposed to be frightening, or it's supposed to be whatever, I'm like, I don't get that. So I have to say, like, I don't know if that's a bad thing or just the fact that, like, I'm too eager to look at this as kind of like a neat environment to go, I'm not frightened of this at all. So it doesn't work for me for being scary.
If that's what the intention is.
Yeah.
At any rate, this was really, really cool. I am still over the moon about this thing. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for this.
Yes.
I would absolutely recommend checking out the creators page, going and looking at this on, do we have any, like, pictures?
We do.
You
have to
get
find
to keep
more.
the letters? You get to keep the letters.
Oh,
you
that's
found.
so good.
Okay,
I wonder if
that's
there are
really fun.
more you can find probably in this particular act, but it's possible that they'll use this and you just sort of download and then it adds it to it for the
Well,
other
I
stuff
imagine you could find a ton more in this act, because you can choose the different languages and the different prompts.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
that. You actually have
Ritual
records, so you can come in here. This is really interesting. Anyway, so thank you very much. Oh god, there's more. Oh wow. Okay, events. Oh, so we've missed 2 of them.
We could have made different choices, even in the first act.
Oh wow, impressive. But yeah, so and you can also see where you've been and night and
There's
day.
a lot of places.
So many.
Oh, so many.
So many. I love that. Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We hope that you will go and you will actually check out this game yourself. Well, like I said, you can find this actually on itch. We get it a part of the Queer Bundle for 2021, and this was a fantastic thing to play. Thank you very much to the creators who did this.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. And also, if you like what we do, we really appreciate having you here. So please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos if you are having a good time with them. All the support so far has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon and our Twitch. There are actually some links in the description down below if you'd like to support our channel and check out other things that we do. We also actually do have a Steam. So if you ever want to go check out games that we actually have on our wish list there, you can actually
if you want to recommend games to
recommend us, we will actually have the option to put them on in those various locations.
Yep.
And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was
Great playing with you. Bye!